Hey everybody, Mark Lewis Wagner here, Kickstarter. This is my first newsletter. I'm making a video. Thank you so much for supporting my project and being part of my team and my community and my accountability. So I thought I would show you some stuff. Um, I thought I would show um, kind of about book one. And let me hide this stuff. So here's my folder, my work folder. I thought I'd show. I have 16,000 images. I've got 120 gigabytes. So here's all of my, I've been working on this project since 2007. Could that be? Um, I can look at dates of the first photograph I have. So these are all my folders for everything. Spray painting and proposals and my dog Karma and the hospital and one of the characters, Hiro, the god of war, Garuda, which is the whale. I actually don't have a picture of the whale in this set. Book one, book two, it just goes on and on. And this is what it all looks like. I've got to go in there and find something. And, I'm able to actually remember where things are and be able to search and look for it. And, there's been times where I haven't worked on this book for a while, and other times, like now, I'm just cranking on book two. So it kind of all started here when I came across this abandoned military hospital and on the island of Alameda. And I snuck in and I found things like this. And this whole floor had been burnt out. And that's part of the first story, the first book. There's a scene in here. And I'd come across like something like this, and I can't read it in a sense, and it just kind of takes me somewhere. It's in my story, these graffiti pieces are the portals where the main character Birde travels through and goes to other times. Um, I just look at this stuff and I'm so like, how do they do that? And what's happening here? And it's a white outline and it's got depth to it. And there's another outline and there's a gradation. And so at the end of this, you'll see that I'm starting to work on some stuff, or something like this is just so like exciting. I think graffiti's some of the most exciting things that I've seen. It feels like this unknown community art. I see something like this in these other big warehouses. And if I was a billionaire, I would have bought this warehouse and I would have turned it into a museum. And just, incredible stuff, drop shadows. So then the other part of this story is I hang out on this island on the decommissioned Navy Air Base. This is the USS Hornet. It's a museum. They say it's one of the most haunted places in the United States. And I've been on it and I hang out on it and I've even worked on it. And this is sneaking on to it's called Bay Ship, place in Alameda where they work on ships. And so this is one of the tugboats. It's actually one of my characters, Z4. And you know, I just saw these huge propellers on these ships. And just, it just feels like science fiction to me, and spaceships. And you know, tugboats are built for torque and not speed. So they're built for power. And each one of these propellers can go separately in different directions. And I just think that that's so cool. Here's an ocean tug that was all beat up, like really beat up. And then they work on it. I come back over different times. And this is one of the kind of the characters, or one of the characters, Bernie, is he's also a time traveler, and he's got a ship out in the middle of nowhere. And then over time, these warehouses got torn down, and which was great for photo ops, and they're gone. All of this work is just gone. And I have tons of photographs. So over time, then I would write, and I would have these downloads of stories of fragments, and over time, then I put them together, and that's what Graffiti War is all about. So there are lots of sketches and drawings, and loose ideas of things. And so this is actually how I think in pictures and words. And really, I would just say, and what happens next? I've never done anything like this before, so there's a part of like, I have no idea what I'm doing. Like, how do you tell a story in pictures? And so I would just try, and I would just draw. Got into doing these kind of tracing paper drawings, and then with a pen and using watercolors. So that was a technique that started to work for me. I would really just try anything, whole collage pieces, and, just over the years, just working on fragments and pieces and paintings. And this is the God of War, a painting that won't even go into it won't even show up till the third book. Same with this. This is the Dragon Earth. And this is the piece that I just did today. I finished it today. I was playing around. Like, the truth is that one of my lifetime goals that I just realized about 2 weeks ago is that I want to be a good graffiti artist. And so here's a piece that I'm working on with a drop shadow, and it's down at my studio. And I'm making a mess. I'm just making a mess. And there it is, kind of finished. Um, So then I want to show you book one. So book one looks like this. These are all the pages in book one. And each one of these is a double page spread. And, I take some of my graffiti art. Let me turn this to a better view, and, do something with it, and put different quotes from Alan Watts or Carl Jung, or here's a picture of the God of War in the very beginning. We don't really see him. We see him in the second book, and he's not like this at all. He's actually uh, he's enslaved by men power and money, and he's an addict and obese, and it's a dark scene. Um, the books, all three books, is the trilogy, has a Spotify playlist, and so there's a QR code, and you can listen along, which you're invited to. And then there's just pages and pages and pages. So, how do I put art on a scene? And, here's the text for it. There's the song if you're interested in playing along with it. Um, and then it just goes on and on and on. So each of those sequences and double page spreads are part of this book and the story. And it was such a fun experience. It still is. It's just kind of wild. Um, and I've always wanted to have something that I could sink my teeth into. And here it is. This is my opus. Here's the graffiti artist. This is actually Birde. And then it's the God of War's hound that's tracking this person. Um, So it's fun to like create pieces where I'm just really loosely drawing pieces and shapes, and working on slowly telling the story of this tugboat pilot, and he eventually um, is out and about, and it's really just line drawings, and then I'm working in Photoshop, so rough sketches, Photoshop, paintings. And then this is the program called InDesign. Here's where we see Garuda the whale. So Garuda and Hiro and the tugboat are a thing. And so, now I'm on to book two, which I'll show you on the next time. So thanks again for being part of the journey. And yeah, just super grateful.